OpenAI just turned Codex into a full operating system for work. It's no longer just a coding tool. It controls your Mac apps, has its own browser, remembers your workflows, generates images, runs 100 plus plugins, and deploys multiple AI agents in parallel while you go get coffee. 3 million weekly users and growing 70% month over month. This is the most comprehensive Codex breakdown on the internet. Everything it can do, how to use each feature, and the mistakes to avoid. Let's go. First, let's be clear about what Codex actually is in 2026. Forget the old 2021 code completion model. This Codex is an autonomous AI agent that reads your code base, writes features, fixes bugs, runs tests, creates pull requests, and reviews code, all without you watching. It runs in three places: the desktop app for Mac and Windows, a CLI for your terminal, and inside VS Code, JetBrains, Xcode, and Eclipse. The default model is GPT 5.4 with a 1 million token context window. And there's a mini version that uses 30% of the quota for lighter tasks. Think of it as having a team of junior developers that never sleep, never complain, and can work on different parts of your project simultaneously. The core innovation is multi agent parallel execution. Imagine you have 5 tasks: refactor the auth module, write the tests, update documentation, fix a CSS bug, and optimize a database query. With traditional tools, you do these one at a time. With Codex, you launch 5 agents. Each works in its own isolated Git worktree, its own copy of the code, so they can't step on each other. You monitor all 5 from a single dashboard. When they're done, you review each diff and merge. What used to take a week takes an afternoon. Cisco, Nvidia, Ramp, and Rakuten are already using this in production. Now, the feature that changed everything: computer use. Codex can see your Mac screen, click buttons, type in fields, and navigate between applications, all with its own cursor running in the background. You keep working normally. The agent operates in parallel without disrupting anything. Use cases: testing native apps, navigating simulator flows, changing app settings through GUIs, and fixing bugs that only appear in the visual interface. This is Codex stepping out of the terminal and into every app on your computer. And you can run multiple agents doing this simultaneously. The in app browser is the sleeper feature nobody's talking about. You can open any web page inside Codex, click on any element, and comment directly on it. Codex automatically captures a screenshot, the DOM element, and the CSS context, and feeds it as precise instructions to your next prompt. No more switching between browser and editor. No more dragging screenshots. No more vague prompts about which button to fix. Point, click, describe, done. It works for front-end development on localhost, and for pulling up documentation you want to ask questions about. Memory is the feature that makes Codex feel like it knows you. It remembers your preferences, your tech stack, recurring workflows, and corrections you've made. When you start a new session, Codex already knows how you like things done. And with Chronicle, the newest edition, Codex can watch your screen in the background and generate memory files from your activity. It observes what you're working on and builds context automatically. You never have to explain your project setup again. The system stores everything as local markdown files you can read, edit, or delete anytime. Skills are what turn Codex from a chatbot into a professional. Skills are reusable instruction bundles, not simple prompts. They're markdown files that define how Codex handles specific workflows. Executive summaries from CSVs, monthly close checklists, contract risk review, code review to your team's standards. You invoke them with $sign dot skill name, or Codex detects them automatically from context. They are version controlled, shareable across teams, and work on every Codex surface. Over 100 plus plugins extend this further. Jira, GitLab, CircleCI, Microsoft Tools, Slack, databases. One agent connected to everything you use. Automations are what happens when agents don't need you at all. You set up a recurring task, issue triage, alert monitoring, CI CD checks, dependency updates, and Codex runs it on schedule. No manual reprompting. Results queue up for your async review while agents work continuously in the background. OpenAI calls this always on background work. Imagine waking up to find that overnight your agents triaged 20 issues, flagged 3 security alerts, and submitted 2 pull requests. That's not future talk. That's what enterprises are running right now. Codex Security, formerly called Aardvark, is the application security agent. It scans your repository, generates editable threat models, identifies complex vulnerabilities with project level context, validates findings in sandboxes to confirm they're actually exploitable, and proposes patches with proof of concept exploits. Before its public launch, it scanned major projects and found 792 critical and over 10,000 high severity vulnerabilities. False positive rates dropped over 50% compared to traditional scanners. This isn't a linter. This is a security engineer that understands your entire code base. The CLI is where power users live. 3 approval modes: suggest mode, Codex proposes changes, you approve each one, auto edit. File changes are auto approved, but terminal commands still need confirmation. Full auto. Codex runs everything autonomously. No confirmations. Maximum speed. Use full auto on throwaway projects or inside containers. The CLI also supports MCP servers for connecting to external tools, web search for up to date information, and the same skills and plugins as the desktop app. Install with npm install -g at OpenAI/Codex. One command, and you're running agents from your terminal. Let's talk performance. On SWE-bench Pro, Codex scores 56.8%. On Terminal Bench, 2.0, 77.3%. Token generation hits over 1,000 tokens per second via Cerebrus hardware. And compared to Claude Code, Codex uses 1x baseline tokens, while Claude requires 3 to 4x more for equivalent tasks. GPT 5.4 Mini uses only 30% of quota. So you can route simple tasks to Mini and save your full quota for complex work. The 2-tier routing strategy alone can double your effective capacity. I put together a complete Codex cheat sheet with every command, every skill, every shortcut, and the 2-tier routing strategy. Comment Codex and I'll send you the PDF. Subscribe. I cover every AI coding tool update in depth. See you in the next one.